Welcome, everybody, to episode number 22 of The Heel Turn. I am, of course, Big Ralph TV, back once again with my brother, Don Josh.
It's good to be back, man. It's a tough one this week.
Definitely. So I guess we'll dive right into that. This past weekend, we lost one of the greats, Mr. Brody Lee, Luke Harper, Mr. John Huber, and just listening to a lot of the support from those who knew him, and everybody that he worked with. It just seems like, man, he was one of the best guys in wrestling. He was loved in every locker room that he ever worked in, no matter the company. Like, nobody had a single bad I mean, not that nobody would say anything bad at this time, but just every single memory, somebody had a good memory with him. Every single thing.
Right. You very rarely get those kinds of people in your life. That I really believe that there's probably not too much bad you can say about this guy, from everything you hear from all the accounts from wrestlers, other fans, Twitter. Everything is just, he's blowing up in a positive way, and you can really just see how far this man's positive influence stretched out to not just the locker room, but the wrestling community and the fan base as a whole. And I really didn't know how much I was gonna miss him until he was gone. He's not one of those big time, or he wasn't until he got to AEW and proved he could be a main eventer.
Yeah.
But up until then, and even then, you don't realize how much you're going to miss somebody till they're gone. And it's been a really tough week, even for people who didn't know him personally. But I understand that you actually have a personal story with the big rig, Luke Harper, Brody Lee. You'd like to share with us.
So me and some of the guys, I know you all see on some of these shows, we have my other guy, JT, on the show. Me, him, and a few of our other buddies, and it should be you this year if there is a Mania.
There is one.
I don't think there is going to be a Mania, but I mean, not a fan Mania. But we normally would go to WrestleMania every year. We started 2013 for WrestleMania 29. And then the following year in New Orleans, WrestleMania 30, we're out walking around, I think we were about to go to Access, WWE Access, one of the events prior to the events, to NXT, I think. And we're just wasting time, looking around, enjoying New Orleans. And then as we're walking down the street, we're lost. We're just walking around everywhere. We run into Mr. Brody Lee. Look at that. That's me. I got my hands are all everywhere. But that's me directly next to him. JT there to his left. And my boy Coop. We ran into him on the street. My boy Paul is actually taking a picture. What's funny is he was in the middle of a jog, and I was like, hey, that's Luke Harper, ain't it? I was like, just out here for a jog, just and we said, hey Luke, can we get a picture with you, man? And he was, yeah, sure, cool, yeah. Got the cameras out and everything, and my buddy Paul took the picture, and then he was like, all right, now one of you switch out so he can get in here and take a picture with me too. And then we switched out so Paul could get in and take the picture, and he cracked some jokes with us. And then he continued on with his run. We didn't want to like hold up his run. He was clearly out there sweating, getting his workout in. But man, he was a good guy, man. Some of the times, you run into people and you can tell they don't really want to be bothered. And it wasn't like that with him. He was genuinely just like happy to take the picture with us. It almost seemed like he was happy that we recognized him out there. But I'm like, of course we recognize you. Nobody else is running around with a beard.
Yeah, he was like, how do they see me?
Of course we know who you are, man.
Oh man, that's awesome, bro. I mean, it's great that you have like a story like that, and like I said, it just goes to show that I don't know if there's any bad story out there about this man. So he's really gonna be missed.
Yeah,
Not just on TV, but our hearts, our prayers, and all our good wishes go out to the friends and the family of John Huber, Big Brody Lee, and
definitely.
it's been a tough week. I don't know what much else to say except we're gonna miss you, Brody.
I feel like AEW's show last night was the best send off that you could do. They really knocked that out the park.
Yeah,
So
it was a tough one to watch too, but in a beautiful way. But man, that was probably the hardest 2 hours of wrestling I've ever watched. It was crazy.
I will say this. And we can end this topic. His son kept the balance for me. Like every Colt Cabana coming out, and instantly I was like, "Oh man, this is about to be a rough one." But they kept showing his son, and granted, the youngest son, he doesn't understand.
Right.
He doesn't know what's going on yet. Clearly, he's only 3. But the older son, I'm assuming he's 8 or 9 years old, I believe, and he's involved in the show. They signed him to a contract for when he's older, and the smile on his son's face the whole night kind of offset the tears for me. So it kind of it was a sad thing, but to see the joy in his son's face, to be able to kind of participate in his dad's lifestyle and be around the guys and all that, and actually be a part. I thought the MJF spot was great.
Yeah.
it was all great, man. Rest in peace, Mr. Brody Lee, man. Thank you for all the memories and everything that you provided for us, man.
Right. Man, almost feels wrong to get on to our topic for the video, but we are closing out 2020, and it's been a rough year for a lot of people, and definitely the wrestling business was no exception to that. So we just want to go through today and kind of like we did in 2019, just kind of recap the year. We got a list of our best and a couple of the worst things that might have happened in wrestling this year. We're looking at mostly, obviously, WWE and AEW, because being American, the Western audience and everything, that's mostly what we watch. And just in case we don't mention anything about New Japan or Impact, which apparently is on the rise, especially with Omega showing up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But is there any particular spot you want to start off with, or can I just throw one out to you?
I would like to say that I'm disappointed that Jay Lethal didn't show up on either of the 2 bigger brands this year. Just wanted to throw that out before we get started. That Jay Lethal, you failed me.
The biggest letdown of the year.
yeah, that's it. If that was a category, Jay Lethal not showing up really hurt me. Really crushed me. So.
That actually is a perfect segue into we're going to go ahead and we'll start off the video with some of the worst ones. That way we can end on a happier note towards the end.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go and start off with what was the worst booking decision throughout the year, whether that WWE, AEW, and it doesn't have to be anything like a specific person or a specific title reign. It can be a whole storyline in general. But what was the worst booking decision in your opinion?
The worst booking decisions of the it was splitting up all the tag teams.
Oh, okay.
We split up, and not only in like we split up the tag teams, and then we made makeshift tag teams
yeah,
with the previous tag team members. Like,
man,
none of that makes sense. You had the Iconics, who I personally loved together. I thought they were the only, when they started the women's tag team division, I think we said it on this show, they should have been the ones to win the tag team titles because they were the only team.
Actual, yeah, legitimate.
Yeah. And then you split them up this year for no good reason. I get maybe that you were going to give Peyton Royce a push, but if we're going to be honest right now, Billie Kay has kind of been better than Peyton Royce.
Billie Kay is on a hot streak right now. I love her showing up every week with her portfolio and her headshot. Just, boy, it's me, Billie Kay. I don't know how to do an Australian accent. Butchered it. And then to top it, like you said, then they just put Peyton Royce in a makeshift team with
Lacey. Yeah.
Lacey, and for what? They don't even explain that.
No good reason. Just together.
Yeah, that's
not only that. Then you split up Heavy Machinery.
Right, that's what I was going to say next.
Which for what? For what reason?
In the defense, I thought that was going to be, at least a way to rock to, we're strapping the rocket to Otis's back. We're going to push him to the moon. But there's no way, there wasn't even a payoff. There wasn't even a match afterwards. Tucker just right on over to Raw. It's like, oh yeah, we're a stupid wrestling audience. We're gonna forget all about that. It was a main storyline throughout the year.
And then tag team. They changed him and made him a jobber. Like, right? It's like you were a part of one of the best tag teams in the company 2 weeks ago. Now you come out with different tights on. He barely even looked the same to me. He looked like a completely different person. And now you're a jobber. Like,
and then Otis Otis is teaming with Chad Gable, which shout out to Chad, got his name back.
That helps Chad, yes, but I mean I don't get that. And of course, the one that bothers me the most.
Yeah, I didn't even have to. As soon as you said it, I was like, well, I know where this is going.
You split up the New Day for absolutely no reason. No reason at all.
No reason at all.
I get that you want to give Biggie a push. I get that. But just last year, we gave Kofi a push together. So how come we couldn't give them a push together? I don't understand. Unless what they're doing is not officially counting them split up. Like the New Day is not completely over. They're just two are here, one's here. And then they come back for pay-per-views together.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing because they kind of mentioned, on Raw a little bit, split second, like they were congratulating Kofi and Xavier on Biggie winning. So, they're still referencing that, they're still a thing. The New Day is still a thing, just on different brands right now.
Yeah. But that's probably the tag team. Your tag team division is weak as is.
Right.
And you split up women's division, men's division, tag teams weak. And you split both divisions, and now you're making makeshift teams. I'm trying to think of one that worked. That I was like, okay, that was actually kind of good.
I would say, I don't know about worked in terms of like we understood it or appreciated it, but I mean, if you want to be technical, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler did hold the women's tag team championships. So I guess the partnership worked, but I never bought it. Yeah. I never. That was me.
One split that I did like was Mandy and Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. I will.
Yeah, but that tied in perfectly to the Otis storyline, which they ended up jacking up anyway. So
and there's more to come on that. So what's your
yeah, so I guess wrapping and quick shout, the Shayna and Nia was second place for worst booking decision because Shayna's just a monster and she should be dominating everybody. So just quick shout right there. Quick shout. But the worst booking decision, in my opinion, is also on the WWE side. And I just wrote down, I don't know if you guys, I just wrote down Charlotte. Just, just, just everything they did with Charlotte Flair this year from the beginning, where it looked like what the only possible outcome could have been was to put Rhea Ripley on the tippy top of the mountain, was to have her go over Charlotte Flair on WrestleMania. That was the only decision or logical outcome that could have happened there.
Correct.
And obviously, we didn't get that. We got the weird booking where Charlotte ends up winning at WrestleMania, which sent Rhea literally to the end of the NXT line, which was crazy. Then from there, you have her. She doesn't even lose it. She's not even the one that takes the physical pin at, what was it? Was it In Your House? NXT In Your House? Where Io ends up, shout to Io, coming back later. Io is the one who takes out Rhea and ends up pinning Rhea. So for me, just Charlotte's booking all year. It's not her fault. I love Charlotte Flair. I think that she's the best female wrestler maybe in the world. I named my dog after Charlotte Flair. All right, I love, right, Charlotte? I love Charlotte Flair, but the booking for her, we could have made a monster out of Rhea, but ended up going the wrong way, and nobody benefited from it.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you were supposed to put this was Charlotte's, and because you always gotta compare her to her dad.
Right.
This was Charlotte's moment to make a sting. Rhea could have been her sting. And you could have, had your moment where you built up the new kid and made them look like $1 million, but they put her over the Stinger. I didn't even remember I wasn't thinking about the fact that Charlotte wasn't the one that took the fall.
Right.
Man. And then she comes back and removes Lana, who was on the roll.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And
to an extent,
just squash her.
Which I think actually leads perfectly into the next worst, which was the worst push. And I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this one. The worst push of the year for me was Lana. I honestly, and it's not her fault. Again, it's definitely not her fault. Like, for a time, I wanted to get behind her. Like, she's going through tables, I think, what was it, 8 or 10 weeks in a row? Nia Jax put her to the announcement.
About 10.
About 10, yeah. At a certain point, girl, just run. Like, at the end of the match, just run. But it wasn't so much that, okay, like, we're building her up, or at least, well, we're tearing her down to build her up. But it was, how am I supposed to get behind this girl who I have sympathy for? But when it comes to what she has to do, she stands there and cries. That was her character. Is like, okay, no, I get it. You're getting kind of bullied and everything like that, but you're a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Like, stand up for yourself a little bit. I'm not one to advocate bullying or anything like that, or what the storyline might have had, like the nuances behind it. If that's really what they were going for, like a bullying victim, I understand 100%. But I mean, the best outcome would be like to stand up to the bully, right?
Yeah.
To the bullies.
Yeah.
So they tried to push her, and for me, it just never clicked. And I think it was because at Survivor Series, instead of getting in there and like even doing a quick roll-up pin to get the last, be the sole survivor, she stood crying on the steps as the two actual competitors got counted out, and then she won, and that's about it. And now she's out. They just removed her from the match.
I'd like to say that I called that happening, by the way. I called a lot of that match. Yeah.
Yeah.
All me.
Booker. Yeah, the booking problem is you.
My worst booking decision is or not booking decision, I'm sorry, worst push is Otis.
Oh, okay.
My worst push is Otis. Not
Not
because I don't like Otis or anything like that. I thought it was genius when he won Money in the Bank. I was like, because
Yeah.
nobody saw that coming.
No, definitely.
I don't think we predicted Otis, or did I? Did I call it?
I don't know, man. We got video. Go check out the video to see if Raph
I'm
called
gonna
it.
check the video. I think I might have called it. But the way that it all just happened, it almost looked like it was an accident. Somebody else was trying to get it. It just
fell in his lap. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be something different. They're gonna do something different with the show now. And they did nothing. Like they split him up. They split him and Tucker up for no reason. He hasn't been seen near Mandy and apparently they broke up and we have no idea.
Sad.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
And then he loses Money in the Bank. He didn't even, somebody else lost the Money in the Bank briefcase years ago. I can't remember who it was, but that rarely happens. They lose a match and they have to forfeit. Kennedy. They lose. He faces the Miz, who I'm a Miz guy, but you face the Miz, you lose the briefcase, and now you're training to be the man again with Chad Gable. You were already on top of the world. You had the briefcase, so now you just lost your mojo, and now Chad's got to bring you back. Why is Chad bringing you back? He doesn't have his mojo either. He just got his last name back.
Oh, that's tough. Poor Chad. I mean, shout out to Chad for getting his name back. I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah.
Most people don't. I'm waiting for find out what the M on Riddle's tracksuit stands for.
Probably get Matt back.
Maybe. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, that's it for me. I got Otis. I just think I didn't think about Charlotte, but you made Lana. I didn't think about that as it was happening, unless we count everything that was happening prior to the shutdown with her and Lashley.
Yeah. Even that was bad.
That was definitely bad. That was terrible.
There you go. Just chalk it on up.
Yeah. But beyond that, man, yeah, Otis. So
poor Otis. I had so much high hope for him. Forgive me right now. I'm one of my dogs is she's acting up right now. I don't know what's going on with her. She's shedding a lot.
We're gonna go into what do we got next? Worst ending
to a show. Now it can be pay-per-view, it could just be regular Raw because every Raw sucked this year. But for me, because I know this one was a little bit, I mean, as soon as I told it to you, you were like, oh man, that's a tough one. And then like a little light bulb went off in your head. You were like, oh, I know it instantly.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear what sparked that little light bulb in your head right there. I'm super intrigued.
The tribute to the Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
The ending of they hyped
the Undertaker.
They hyped it up at Survivor Series. The ending
right.
to Survivor Series. They hyped it up so long for we're gonna have the legends and we're gonna have Taker come out and we're gonna do all this stuff. It's gonna be a huge tribute to him. And all that happened is you have his friends who he'd been partying with the night before come out to the ring and stand there. Kane comes out in Kane costume, which makes sense because he's Kane.
Big shout to Kane.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
Exactly. At first, we were thinking this doesn't make any sense that Kane and the Godfather. A lot of people don't know this. The Godfather was in ring attire too, or he's just a pimp.
No, I told you, he just rolls like that. There's no ring attire. This is
that's his streetwear.
Yep.
Godfather and Kane come out in regular attire, but these guys don't say anything. They don't do anything. They just come out. They just stand there, and then next thing you know, they're gone. They're all gone. Taker comes out, says a little bit. That's cool. Vince said some stuff. That's cool. The only cool thing about it to me that stands out is the Paul Bearer
hologram tribute.
Hologram. Yeah. That was nice. But I was like, this is how you send out arguably the greatest act in your company, like of all time, this is what you do. I feel like he should have had his own separate event.
Yeah, that would have been fitting.
Yeah, this is the Undertaker. This is 30 years the greatest, arguably, because most other characters in wrestling, characters,
Right.
not like a Booker T or a Bret Hart. These guys who are ultimately themselves as wrestlers. The Undertaker is the greatest character ever, arguably, and this is how you send him out. It just didn't feel right with me.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. I must repress that shit because I totally forgot about that. That might have to be my number one actually now. But I already wrote it down, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shout my worst ending of the year. Sans Undertaker ending. For me, it was you might have forgotten this too. The horror show at Extreme Rules. Now I don't know if you remember the ending to that, but it was the what was it? I forgot what they called it. Was it like the Wyatt compound match
with Braun
in the swamp? Yeah, with Braun.
I forgot all about that.
And we go off the first. I mean, I thought it was well shot in terms of we're trying to do the cinematic thing. The was it Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse really hit. Yeah, that's really hit at WrestleMania. So we tried to do it again. I thought it was shot pretty well. Just the ending, man. We go off with Braun being drowned. He was drowned to death, assumably, and then next week or the week after on SmackDown, he just comes out with his head shaved. That's all we got from it. So I'm gonna give y'all about as much recap on it as WWE put into the thought of it, and just end it with that. That was the stupidest thing I saw all year. Poor Braun.
Yeah. I forgot all about that, but I could agree. I could definitely agree with that. What was the man? That now that I'm thinking about it, that almost gets that definitely should almost get the Seth Rollins award there.
Right. Yes. So the Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell Big or Little Hammer beats Big Hammer award. Oh man, that's that every year. I think every year we should have the Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell award. That'd be we're starting it now.
So terrible. Why was it so bad? They had no other choice but to correct that at the Saudi.
They tried to. There was no saving it.
That was so trash. The where are we at next? Are we going into the best now?
Yeah. So we didn't want to have too much negativity on our final show for the year. So we knocked out all the worst, got those out of the way. So let's jump into the best, man. Let's just go right in. And being that this show is called The Heel Turn, Raph, I'm asking you, what was the best heel turn this year? And it really shouldn't even take you that long. Shouldn't even be a discussion. But let's see what you have to say.
I think I know where you're going, and I kind of agree. But I gotta ask one question here.
Okay.
Before, does Brody Lee joining the Dark Order count as a heel turn?
I don't think so, because I think that was a debut, correct?
But was he a heel though prior to that in WWE, or was he like a tweener?
So no, I think he left WWE a heel as Luke Harper.
Okay, that changes my answer then. So, the best heel turn has to be Kenny Omega.
Damn it!
What other choices there?
You got me. Which is good. That's good. That's good that we have this discussion and everything like that. I was right there with you, Kenny Omega, but he was my number 2. But go ahead. Go. Give me your reasoning.
Originally, I'll show if I can show it to you.
Yeah.
I can't show it to you because it'll reveal my other answer. But Brody joining the Dark Order was my original pick.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel like he wasn't that monster heel leaving. Luke Harper was a heel, but he wasn't like the way that he arrived in the Dark Order. That man was heel That was
Yeah, but
it
then
was
you
like
can,
up the hill a little bit.
yeah, but you can say that's because of WWE never having any faith in him.
Yeah, man, that was when he came to the Dark Order. I was like, whoa, now that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, Kenny Omega mainly for me is because I guess I didn't see it coming.
Really,
To
there was
me,
a lot
Omega,
leading up to it. There was a lot
I mean,
leading up to
it was, but it was still kind of shocking to me. It wasn't like
it. Okay, yeah.
it wasn't like a Seth Rollins where you were like, just get it over with. Like, we know this is about to happen.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. I was like a freshman, and when Seth Rollins turned heel, I did not see it coming. I was shook.
No, I'm talking about the recent heel turn, the original one.
This recent one. Okay, yes. I was
Yeah,
thinking the first Shield
the
betrayal.
original, the Shield one. No, that one was out of nowhere. That one shocked me. But the most recent one, it was like, come on, man. We've known you were going to turn heel all year. Like, just it's turn already. Wrap this up.
Give me a second. I think I gotta let my dog get some water. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I think for Kenny Omega, I just didn't see it coming, really. I didn't see him turning the way that he wound up turning. So, good girl. Get some water. Good girl. I didn't really see him turning like that. It was a good turn. They set up all you got to follow the rules and you can't do these other things. And they, set it up really nicely. But I don't think that I guess I didn't see it go full blown the way that it is now, as far as him going to Impact. And I can't think of his manager's name now, the guy from Impact.
Don Callis.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, and we're going to go take over Impact, and we're going to go back and forth, and now there's a talk of a new show featuring Kenny Omega. Like, all this is happening. Like, he went full heel.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't just like a slow burn heel. It was like, I'm face today, and then boom, heel turn. So it has to be that one to me.
That's a good shout. I think that was a good one. Like you said, I saw it coming. I saw it coming a mile away, but that, maybe that's just me. I think a lot of other people did too, but the one I didn't see coming and is undoubtedly the best heel turn of the year. I can't believe you didn't put this since. What do you love more than anything, Raph? It's black wrestlers succeeding and Samoans. And you let yourself forget the greatest heel turn in recent WWE memory. That's right. It's the tribal chief, your head of the table, Roman Reigns. And there's nothing else that needs to be said about it.
I'm embarrassed that that's not my pick.
I was shocked. Really.
Mistakes have been made.
Omega was literally going to be my pick just because I could have sworn, obviously we didn't talk about this beforehand, that you were going to pick Roman Reigns' heel turn as the number one. So to like spice it up, I was like, okay, well, maybe I could give a shout to Omega because it was a pretty impressive heel turn. But after, coming to grips with reality, I realized there's nothing else. Roman Reigns' heel turn was just probably some of the best TV work all year.
I swerved you.
Yeah. Aha! You got me. Damn it. That will show me.
Roman says he's not a bad guy. So I have to agree with him.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. See, that's thinking outside the box.
No, I don't know. I guess it's because it's so natural. Natural that I just wasn't even thinking about it. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Omega's was a I am heel. I'm not pretending to be a good guy. This is what I am now. Roman is still trying to be like, I'm doing this to benefit you.
Right. Oh yeah. He's real charitable. What are those called? philanthropist, really. He's
Yeah,
just giving back, really.
yeah. I'm not bad. I'm doing this because I'm helping you.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at you now. You're in the main event because of me. Like
What a nice guy.
he's not a heel. He's great.
That's
He's a
true.
good guy.
Okay. No, you're
No,
right.
no,
Okay.
you're absolutely right. And I'm losing my heel points because I missed the greatest heel turn of the year. You actually
That's
absolutely win this round for sure. I can't believe I forgot about that.
yeah, me neither, man. Quick shout out to the second best heel turn of the year, Powerhouse Hobbs. Just throwing
No,
that out. Yeah.
no,
Come on, man. He even changed his name to Powerhouse. That's the most I love that name. Anyway.
He is because there's a few. I love black wrestlers. I love Samoans, like you just said. Hobbs was on my list he's low on the totem pole. He's above Private Party,
You're a hater.
but he's down here. He's not up there.
You're a hater. And you
There's
probably hate the color orange too. I ain't got time for you, man.
no. I love orange.
Well, you better, because otherwise he's gonna come by. He's gonna find you. Powerhouse is looking out.
Yesterday I watched him in their match in the triple the 6-man tag match, and I was like, okay, I can see some of this Hobbs.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, I can. He's moving up the ladder. The bottom of the ladder is Private Party.
Great. Okay.
Hobbs is coming up though.
On
The guy that is the former North American champion, he's above Hobbs.
Oh, that's tough. I know what you mean too, because some people ain't watch. They're gonna think, "What? You just put Keith Lee right above Will Hobbs?" Like, no,
not that North American champion.
I hate you. Let's just move on. You're making me mad. What was the best feud of the year?
Best.
This one should also be a pretty easy answer, in my opinion.
Best feud of the year, man.
For me, it was a two-person race, honestly.
Sasha Banks and Bayley, best feud of the year.
Right.
I'm a little disappointed in that feud though. And here's why. I believe we discussed this at the beginning. I think we might discuss this on this show last year. But I could be wrong on that.
Recap.
That feud, my only disappointment in it, because it played out nicely. But my disappointment in it is that deserved to be a WrestleMania main event.
Yes.
I feel like they should have, let's just stretch this out a little bit more for the next 3-4 months, and then boom.
Right. To be fair, they were stretching. Like, it was getting
a little thin.
Yeah, it was getting very thin, which sucks, because I think they should have, they should have shouldn't have pulled the trigger on their dysfunction right away. They should have had them as a pretty decent, kind of like the Inner Circle, like go a whole year as being a cohesive unit, and now they're starting to be a little dissension. So they should have held off a little bit. But no, I agree with you. Sasha and Bayley 100% stole the show at Hell in a Cell. Had the best match that night.
Yep. Easily.
Yep. The only
we'll talk about that.
Okay. I would say the only thing that I could say maybe came close would have been Hangman and Omega, but that feud really didn't start popping off till the end of the year. And they were a cohesive tag team, which you knew they were going to break up. You didn't know when, and I guess that's what made it pretty fun.
Yeah.
But at this point, they're not feuding, so I kind of push that one to the side for what I thought was a better one with Sasha and Bayley.
Yep. One could argue the short feud of Roman and Jey Uso.
I guess one could argue that. I wouldn't. Honestly, if I was to argue a wild or a dark horse in this, I would argue Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Because that one was they took that one outside of the ring and outside of the WWE sphere with Pat McAfee's podcast.
Yeah,
and Adam Cole going on that, and obviously it was a shoot, but at the time, obviously it was work, but at the time I thought it was for real. I thought Adam was about to slap that man's head off right there in his recording studio.
Yeah.
So it really got me invested with, which I didn't think I would be. And then Pat McAfee turned out to just be not a natural wrestler, but he's just a great athlete and able to do
Pretty
things
good.
in the ring.
He's
So
pretty
good
good.
shout to Pat.
He impressed me at War Games.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
He took some bumps in War Games. I was like, ooh, you're not supposed to be taking those bumps. He took them.
I didn't like that.
I also think, and I don't think that they like an honorable mention. I don't think that they gave it enough attention, but I liked Mandy and Sonya. I liked that whole feud earlier in the year. I think that was a good way to split a team up, even though, and this is why I hate like social media and things today, because yes, on TV those two, like, they hated each other. The feud was great. Hair got cut. Like, all kind of things were happening. It was great. But then on social media, they're best friends. They're hanging out. I'm like, God, everybody needs to be the Undertaker. They need to take Undertaker classes. Be the character. Like MJF. Remember, I've always said I don't really like him that much.
Yeah.
I like him.
Weird, but yeah.
I like MJF. I've changed my mind on
That's
MJF
good.
because he is a legit heel. He takes the damn heel character very seriously. He is a heel when he wakes up in the morning. He's brushing his teeth heel like, putting on the deodorant heel like. He's flipping off sons of members who just passed away.
That's right, baby. That man don't care. I like that too.
Everybody needs to be that way. I don't want to see you in a hot feud that defines your career, and then you guys are hanging out on the beach having the photos with best friends. I don't need to see that.
Fair enough. Let's go on to what do we have? Let's do the pay-per-view. Best pay-per-view of the year. I'll start off with this one because this one was a hard one for me, but it came down to two of the takeovers. And I had to go with TakeOver Portland. I don't
Beginning
know.
of the year.
What's up?
Beginning of the year?
Beginning of the year, yeah. I think it was the last one, the last takeover with fans.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can remember off the top of my head the matches. So we had, because I remember we had Gargano versus Finn Balor. I think this was before Gargano was a heel.
Yep.
So, it was kind of, and the Prince had just come back, so he had that tweener character, which he's still doing at the time right now, time of recording. But you had that match that I was really excited for at the time. Who else? This one had Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, where I think Charlotte comes in afterwards and basically announces, "Yeah, I'm challenging you at WrestleMania."
I remember that.
We had you remember the Broserweights?
Yep.
We had the Broserweights versus O'Reilly and Fish for the tag titles. And then we had the match that opened the night that arguably stole the show, Keith Lee and Dijakovic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just two big slabs of meat, just putting meat on each other, and
sounds terrible.
But just beating the hell out of each other and doing things that like guys those size shouldn't be able to do. I think the main event kind of cooled it off a little bit. Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa, but I think that opener was so hot. I think Bianca and Rhea, that match was fire. I think the whole card itself was just perfect from top to bottom. The only thing that I can maybe say is AEW Revolution, because that was also the last time they had a crowd, and I think that made a huge difference throughout the year.
I need to pull up the entire card for the one that I chose. My answer is Hell in a Cell.
Oh, okay.
Hell in a Cell. I thought that it was a good one, because usually if one Hell in a Cell match, you say you have multiple Hell in a Cell matches,
right?
usually one is good. The other one's trash, as proven last year, with which is why we have a Seth Rollins award this year. The card, okay, Roman and Jay, Elias, Jeff Hardy, which was the worst match.
Yes.
Miz and Morrison defeats Otis for the Money in the Bank with Tucker interfering. Then you got Sasha and
Bailey.
Sasha and Bailey. You got Lashley. Lashley versus Slapjack from Retribution.
Was it? I totally forgot that.
And then Orton. See, the reason I picked these matches, this one, is because of the Hell in a Cell.
Sure.
And I thought all 3 Hell in a Cell matches were legit. And they're all and like in different ways too.
They were all good enough.
It wasn't like hold up, was Roman and Uso? That was in the cell, right?
Yeah.
It was. I Quit in the Cell. So they were all legit in different ways. They had done it. They didn't follow the same script. Okay, we're going to go outside the ring and throw you up against the cell and hit your head. And then we're going to take it back in the ring. And then we're going to flow back outside the ring. We're going to do – they were all their own legit matches. Roman and Jay barely even touched the cell, but the match was still great. Like, I love that match. It's one of my favorite of the year. And then
that's good. That's good. That makes
Sasha and Bailey, to me, that match stole the show. But of course, with those two, like that's what they do. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna put on the match of the night, and we're gonna make you forget that Roman and Jay completely destroyed everything earlier in the show. But and then Randy and Drew, while that wasn't the best one of the night. It was, of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, that one was the worst one. But that's just saying how awesome the first 2 were.
Right.
If you removed those first 2 Hell in a Cell matches, that would have been considered a great match on its own. It's just that, man, we got to go third after that is the issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I picked Hell in a Cell because to me, the easy choice would have been WrestleMania. It was 2 different nights. You can pick your favorite matches, and if you just pick all the ones and combine them together and remove the fluff, nothing touches what WrestleMania wound up being over the 2 nights. But plus it had the Boneyard match. So
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so I didn't want to pick Mania because it felt like it was too easy.
Okay. No, it's a good shout. Hell in a Cell matches were that good. Makes sense. That would be pay-per-view of the year for you.
Yeah.
Moving on to match of the year. So does yours happen to coincide with a Hell in a Cell by chance?
It does happen to be.
It does. Shocking.
Roman and Jay Uso. Match of the year. Not because of, now if we're just going to go off of the technical aspect of wrestling and everything that happens in the ring and the action itself, then it would be Bailey and Sasha.
In the cell.
Yeah, in the cell.
Oh, hey, look at
it. What's going on, man?
You come in right as we're
surprised. Yeah.
What's that?
Number 30th entry right here. Surprise entrant.
I'm doing the run-in, man. I'm doing the run-in.
What was I saying? Oh, so Roman and Jay. To me, the fact that what makes it match of the year for me is the fact that it was so emotional, man. Like they really brought everything out. That was when Jimmy comes out. Roman's in the ring crying. I shouldn't be doing this. You're right. I'm evil. I don't know what's come over me. And then he locks him up too. Then he taps him out. Paul Heyman's over in the corner, shocked out of his mind.
Yeah, he's really fighting back tears.
Yeah, this shit was amazing. I'm sitting here behind me right now. I'm sitting here like, just like this the whole match. It brought up all the emotions. So I have to give it to that one.
All right. I didn't want to take the easy route because a lot of people were saying that the Bucks versus Kenny and Omega for the titles was greatest tag team match ever, match of the year candidate, stuff like that. I went with something a little bit left field, and I chose the men's Royal Rumble match this year. Again, a lot of it had to do with the fans, the fact that we had fans and fan reaction. But like you said, if it was down to technical wizardry and stuff like that, then it might have been a match from AEW more than likely for me. But nothing beat the crowd pop for when Edge came out. No, that was you and me. We were in the same. We were watching it.
We were watching it together.
You and me were shook at like what 3 a.m. We still got as hyped as we did for Edge showing up. Even though you knew it was coming, you just didn't know when. And then when it finally did hit,
I remember being hyped because the women's one was first, right?
Right. Yeah. Which again, Charlotte Flair's booking.
Yeah, you're right on that one. Naomi returned, and I was like, "Oh, Naomi, it's not gonna get much bigger than this."
Oh my God!
Prove me wrong, like a motherfucker.
I can't take you nowhere. But yeah, and then we had MVP return, which turned out to be a really great thing for 2020, and just the ending, man. I remember feeling the way that I did about the ending. Drew winning was the right choice, and then even throughout the thing, you can argue that the Brock kind of just chucking people over, because I think he just chucked out Keith Lee and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
So you could argue that was kind of where Vince saw those guys at the beginning, but I would say that was a cool storyline up until like entrant 16 or 17, and then Drew kicks him out.
Keith Lee looked good in that match. Brock, you got to go back and look at Brock's face and what Brock is saying to Keith Lee.
Sure, but he still threw him out within a minute. I'm just saying that was the way I saw it, but I'd say the men's Royal Rumble match was a good shot.
All right, man.
I'm glad JT did show up though, because my dog is crying at the door. So JT, give us your match and try to make it a little longer.
All right, man. Well, I'm logging out now because he said that was straight BS. That's the reason why that match sucked, because of Brock. But my match of the year has to go with NXT. Has to go with O'Reilly and Finn Balor.
Okay.
That's my match of the year.
I see where you're going with that.
Like you said, with the technical and the back and forth and them killing each other, I mean, that match was awesome. And I was going to do everything. The worst thing in wrestling this year to me was NXT, just because where it was and where it's at now.
Yeah.
I mean, NXT has been the biggest disappointment to me, but that match right there, I have to give that one the 2 thumbs up.
Let me since Josh is out for a second, let me catch you up. Like, let me hear your picks on some of the other ones. You have the list?
I don't have the list in front of me right now.
I'll run it off. It off. So we started with the worst choices, like the worst things, the worst push of the year.
The worst push of the year, Dominic Mysterio. What has he done for this business, for WWE, for anybody this year?
And he skipped right from NXT straight to the main roster.
Right. What is the point of that? Because your dad is rated. I mean, I get nepotism. I get, hey, man, your dad is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but Jesus, dude, this dude has done absolutely nothing with it at all.
Man,
his sister got a better push than him. She's doing more than that dude is doing.
God. I would have changed my pick on some of these things, because that whole run was like, what the fuck?
Dude.
Murphy's like our age.
Go ahead.
Murphy is like our age, and Mysterio's daughter is 19, yo. Yeah. That's also my worst feud. I think is that one of the categories, worst feuds of the year or something like that. We didn't do a worst feud, but have at it.
Well, let's do the whole Rollins Mysterio. That's the worst feud. Oh my, the worst angle this year. 'Cause it just went on forever. It just didn't make any sense. Like the first two matches I give you, but then after that, we did like 8 months of them going back and forth. And I
Yep.
swear, Seth won every match on a pay-per-view.
I feel like he did.
Except for, did he win the tag match too, or did they win a tag match? And they won, I think, an episode of Raw. But other than that, Seth beat them the whole year.
I feel like they tried to end it, and we were like, yes, thank goodness this is over. And then they switched him to SmackDown. And kept
SmackDown, yeah. The worst thing to happen to wrestling this year, Rollins, Mysterio. Not the men individually, because they both can put on good matches, but just the whole story and man,
putting them together in the feud, no good.
Yeah. For that long.
We had worst booking decision.
I mean, I think that goes along with it, doesn't it?
I had Otis. No, not Otis. My worst push was Otis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just the fact that they did nothing with him after he won.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't say the worst push because his push to where he got to was great. Like I say, he was the best thing on SmackDown at the point that you was watching SmackDown for Otis and Mandy and all that for a minute. So you can't say that's the worst
After
push.
that, I'm talking about post Money in the Bank. Nothing.
I don't say post Money in the Bank. I'll say post breakup.
They didn't even announce the breakup. Him and Mandy, storyline wise, are still together, but we know they're not together because
Right.
That was crap.
I'm so happy where I came back.
Booking decision. I'm letting him catch up on some of the topics.
Okay.
So I'm still gonna go with the booking decision. I'm gonna go again with Rollins and Mysterio. That's just no. That was just too long, man. That whole what was it, 8 months?
Yeah.
That whole thing was
Something
just
like
ridiculous.
that. Yeah.
That's
I
the
love
worst
it.
booking
I
decision.
love it. The fake eye and everything.
Yeah, that's the worst. The worst.
Where do we start with the best? We started with
The best heel turn.
best heel turn.
Oh, jeez.
I swear to God. If you don't get this, man.
Don't be embarrassed like me at the end of this.
Raph already got his heel turn card revoked.
Yeah, wait, what was your pick?
My pick was Omega because I wasn't thinking about it.
No, I don't think that was the best. I mean, that's probably the biggest though. That's probably the biggest heel turn was Omega.
Clearly Powerhouse Hobbs.
That's what I was about to say.
No, you better not. he tricked you into that answer.
Yes.
Not the answer.
The Powerhouse.
I can't think of any heel turns really this.
You see, Josh? It was so natural.
Kidding me right now?
It's so natural that we're not even thinking about the real answer.
What was yours?
Roman.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh man!
Oh my God!
It was so natural that we didn't even think about it.
Oh no!
You got to turn your card in too, man.
Yeah, man. All right, man. It was good catching up with you guys. I'll see you on the next one. I forgot about that. Yeah, you are. Man.
I can't believe I didn't think about it either.
It's just so natural that you forget he actually turned heel this year.
Because you can't. I mean, he did turn heel, but people been booing him forever, so I didn't even think of. I didn't think of him as a heel turn. I was thinking, okay, he just went into his role, I guess.
He's back. Yeah,
just embracing it.
Jeez. Yeah, Roman is the biggest. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Best what was the pay-per-view?
What was the second AEW pay-per-view? The one that the one from, was it August? That card right there?
August is All Out.
I think All Out, because everybody thought it was gonna be trash, but it wound up being like really good.
Yeah, I really like that one. That one had my favorite match was Shida versus Thunder Rosa. I thought they finally put the women's division on notice there. But I'm a big Thunder Rosa fan, so.
I hate to say that just because it had Moxley as a champion, and anything with Moxley as a champion, I wanted to go against.
You just hated the whole year. You just hated all of 2020.
I think the great is one of the categories the best moment of the year, because I'll get after Moxley losing the title. But yeah,
Oh, that's tough.
I wasn't too impressed with any of the WWE pay-per-views. I just think that they were all just, except for Hell in a Cell and what was the other one? What was the other one? No, that's WrestleMania. I can't do WrestleMania, but they were all just like extensions of Raw. Yeah, seemed like they were all extensions of Raw and SmackDown. They weren't really pay-per-views. So I had to go with, and NXT is, like I was telling Raph, NXT just sucked this year, except for the Riley and Finn Balor match. So I had to go with AEW, and AEW's pay-per-view. They say a second one because everybody thought it was gonna be trash with no fans and blah blah blah, but it wound up being a pretty good card. So
Well,
yeah,
the second one was Double or Nothing, and that's the one with I think that was the one where Brian Cage debuted because he debuted in that ladder match.
Yeah.
Oh, then the one from August though, not the one
from
he
August,
debuted,
yeah.
the one from August. Was that
All Out.
Yeah, All Out was the man. We need to go to one of those pay-per-views actually, man. Because
I think All Out was no Double or Nothing was Moxley versus Brody.
yeah.
When the world opens back up, it looks like AEW is allowing fans, but I don't think, like we were saying earlier, I don't think there's going to be a man. I was telling them when we spoke about Brody earlier, how we would all go to the events, and that this year he was supposed to come too.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like there's going to be fans at Mania this year again. So,
first pay-per-view to open up. What is that? Elimination Chamber?
I know we all want the world open up and we want to do something, but I'm telling you guys right now, I am never going to a pay-per-view for WWE unless it's WrestleMania. It's nothing like it. I'll never do. I've been to the SummerSlam. We've been to the Raws. I've been to.
You want to go to Royal Rumble?
I would do that just to mark it off the list. But I'm skeptical of it just because, like I said, we've been to the other pay-per-view and they are. We should, man. We set the bar too high by doing Mania, man. We should have done Mania first because that bar is set. That bar is set.
There's nothing like Mania, man.
Yeah, man.
I been to SummerSlam. Y'all went without me because I was over in Spain.
Right.
But I'm gonna have to do a SummerSlam. But Mania.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, dude. Don't waste your time. We went to Mania. Of course, it was in Brooklyn. I mean, I have nothing against New York. I have nothing against Brooklyn. It was a cool city, but it's just that at Mania they go all out for that weekend.
Yeah.
SummerSlam was just Sunday, and the rest of the time there was no access. They had like little things going around the city, but of course it was in New York, so everybody's in Times Square, and we were running into the superstars on the streets and things like that. But there was just no events like Mania. Mania is the one. So I would rather just wait till a AEW pay-per-view comes along, go to Vegas for All or Nothing or something. I don't know. I would rather do that than waste the trip to go to Elimination Chamber or King of the Ring. No, I don't want to do none of those. So
that's good. Yeah,
we haven't hit. What did we say? What was the last topic we just hit? Best pay-per-view.
Best pay-per-view.
We did best heel turn. Best feud, JT.
Best feud. Can I say that Omega and Moxley just because Omega won?
You can say that.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. That's not the best feud. The best feud would have to go to storyline wise, Roman and Uso. Storyline wise, just because like the way I like the way Jay plays his role, man. Like you see him at first how he was fighting it, and now you see him accepting him. I'm gonna get him. You see that. That storyline wise, I think that's the best out there right now. So I mean, it's still going on. So
I think that catches it back up to where we were, Josh.
I think so. So we got 3 more topics. We got 3 more. So let's go ahead and knock them out.
We got 4.
We got 4?
Best return.
Oh yeah. We added that one back in because you said there was one other than the obvious best return of the year. So we'll go ahead and start with that one then. Best return. Give me your just give it to me. Let me hear what you think is the best return of the year.
Best return of the year. The obvious answer. I know where you're going, and that guy
And
That
I swear
guy
to God, if you
is
pick what I think you about to say, I'm gonna smack you.
that guy is one of my favorites of all time, and
No, hell no. Hell no.
I hate that I would say, hold on, JT, hold on. I hate that I'm going to say that this is not my answer.
Okay.
The best return of all of the year to me, and not the return itself, but the impact of the return of the year for the course of the year is MVP.
Oh shit! You surprised me, man.
That's the return of the year.
You didn't surprise me. You disappoint me.
Who's been better than MVP this year? He's resurrected career. What was Lashley doing prior to MVP's return?
He was getting married, and he was loving it. He was loving it. He was home wrecking.
Wow.
Cedric Alexander was Tucker. Shelton Benjamin, he was a Monday Night Raw joke for us for WrestleMania.
Oh, poor Shelty.
MVP has come back and made the Hurt Business a stellar group. Like they're the best faction of the year. Like,
yes. Yeah.
He came back. He's doing that. It's just been amazing. Now you got all these guys, and with them having the Hurt Business together, these other people who weren't going to be on TV, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet has even been better. He's been getting his tail beat like every week, but
at least he gets on TV.
He's on TV now. Like, I think the MVP impact overall outshines the Stinger's return.
Damn,
that's a good. I mean, overall, I guess it's a good shout because honestly, Sting hasn't done anything. But
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care that he hasn't done anything. He made it snow in Florida. Fuck you. Sting made it snow in Florida. Best return ever. I mean, I'm not even where when you guys were watching Sting like in his Crow prime and everything like that. I wasn't even really cognizant of wrestling. That's how big of an impact Sting is. And when I saw him come out, like, bro, I had to stand up because I was literally sweating and I had chills watching him. Just no like heads up or anything. Just he made it snow in Florida. Best return of the year, Sting.
All of this, the best return. I said, I'll give you MVP because of the impact. I give you Sting because nobody knew that was coming. But I go with Edge because Edge is my guy. And like I said, watching it, hearing his music, when his music hit, I was like, whose music is that? I'm not gonna lie, I tripped out. I was like, whose music? Like I tripped for a minute. I was like, because I'm like, that can't be. Like my mind would not accept that is Edge. It was like that is not Edge's music. But when he came out and like the Sting, there was no emotion for me. I was like, oh, that's cool, it's awesome. But with Edge, just because his career was over, man. And I felt when he announced his retirement all those years ago, I felt bad. Like I was gonna cry in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, that's very sad. And then for him to come out and you can see it in his face.
Yeah.
There's not too much.
Fighting back some tears too.
Yeah, it's not too much that gets me going like that. But I was like, damn.
You're not a WCW guy. So
I am not a WCW guy. True.
The Sting thing, we've had this discussion. When Sting came to WWE, that was the Sting moment for me. That was me freaking out, being a little 11-year-old with my face painted, with the crow and everything. That was me. Sting was my guy when I was little, man. Like, so I had never got to see him in person. So when we were at WrestleMania, what was that, 31 in San Francisco, and he comes out and we're on the side of the stage and he's right there. I'm sitting here about to break down, like pass out, like Michael Jackson's performing on the stage. These guys are making fun of me, like, it's a piss break. I'm like, oh, Sting. So this Sting return for me, not to say that it wasn't great. It just, I've already experienced my big Sting return.
No, okay. All right. Fair enough. It was snowing in Florida. All right. Well, now we're down to 3. We're down to 3, and this one gets a little bit more. We're starting to narrow it down to best tag team of the year.
Easy,
Best
private
tag-
party. Private party.
Private party.
I better see that face.
Wait,
We're on
24 ounces of
opposite ends of
vodka
that.
cranberry.
You want to lead, Justin?
What's that?
You want to
See that?
lead?
My tag team is. This one was a hard one because like all the matches, there's so many tag teams right now, you know? And my favorite tag team, New Day, that's gonna be my guys. But this year, I give it to the Young Bucks, man. I give it to the Young Bucks. I just like what they done. I mean, they could have started that company and started out as, I mean, any of those guys could have started out as champions, but they took their time with it. They put the belts on them on the right time. I mean, the Revival, you didn't think that they were going to beat the Revival because the Revival didn't have the belts that long. But just the Bucks, I like their matches, man. Their matches are exciting to me. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're so choreographed. They do all these moves, too many flips, blah, blah, blah. No, those guys put on, like, their matches tell a story. They're exciting. They get the fans. But when they have fans, they get them going. I give it to the Young Bucks.
Right. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in right there because I also gave it to the Bucks. Everything JT said, spot on. Yeah, I mean, do the matches start to seem? They tell a good story. A lot of the times, it does seem like it's pretty. The match style is pretty repetitive. Matt Jackson goes down. He fakes hurt. My arm, my leg. Matt's hurt, and then Nick comes in to clean it up. So, but then Matt gets the physical pin, whatever. But yeah, Young Bucks for me, especially this year, picking up the titles. And again, they had what a lot of people are calling the greatest tag team match ever.
Yeah,
pretty good shout. I give it to the Bucks too.
But before you go, Raph, I'm just gonna throw my second one in the ring. Let's not forget the Lucha Bros, please, because are you serious, man?
Ray Phoenix? Lucha Bros are there. If they had a whole 2020, that would have been my team.
They split for a portion of the year.
COVID got them, bro.
The Lucha Bros.
They split for like 2 weeks.
They weren't a team the whole year.
Man, you talking about Ray Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys.
He talking about the Lucha. No, the Lucha House Party.
Yeah. We're not talking about Lucha House Party.
No, I'm talking about the Lucha Bros.
No, man, those dudes put on awesome match. Those dudes put on awesome matches too. They could. Oh my goodness. I think my superstar of the year would have to be Ray Phoenix, man, just because that dude. They do him wrong. I put on AEW Dark, by the way. He should be always on the main show, but. Yeah, man. Anyway, go ahead, Raph. I was just throwing that out there as runners up. Go ahead.
I like them. I didn't understand. I guess I missed a little bit of AEW and didn't understand why they were fighting. So
yeah, you must have missed it.
It threw me off when I was like, why are these two fighting? They're the
your
team.
Fault. Your fault. That's your bad.
But my team of the year is the Street Profits.
Oh my good boo! All right, man. No.
From January to right now, they have been tag champions.
No, man. Give me. Oh my goodness.
New Day coming in for the win.
Everybody,
dude.
And they beat the New Day. Like that was.
How often do we say that Dawkins is on his way to being Tucker to being Marty Jannetty? And you're gonna sit here and tell me that the Street Profits are the tag team of the year? I can't even let you finish your explanation, man, because this shit just doesn't make sense right now.
He went from Tucker to Marty.
Stevie Ray.
He's improved, man.
So tell me what happens after they break up. What does this guy do?
He's gonna be hitting people with slapjacks. Man, I guess you had to have one, man. I'm really sad that this is the one you chose. It's just I think this guy, I honestly do think that throughout the year, Dawkins actually did improve. When he gets the hot tag, it it's entertaining to me now. At first, I was like, man, this guy doesn't have the talent, and I'm drawing a blank now.
He doesn't have the talent. He doesn't have the charisma. He don't have the one thing that the street thing. I hate to keep cutting you off, Raph, but this is just horrible. This is a horrible choice. But the only thing people talk about as the Street Profits is when Montez does his frog splash off the top rope. That's all people talk about. Hold on, you got the area. Other than that, trash, dude. Their promos suck. I mean, there's nothing interesting about those guys.
They have been tag champions. What other team is the tag champions from start to finish?
I'm like, they don't need to have belts. We're just talking about tag teams, period. What do they bring?
Look at the matches. Our favorites are the New Day, and they beat them.
I take the best friends over Street Profits. I take the best friends over Street Profits, and they literally had a fight this year over somebody wrecking their mama's car.
Yeah, I would too, man. Their matches are more exciting to me than the Street Profits.
No,
I mean, they entertain me at least. Street Profits.
I'm sticking with the Profits as the top. My second pick, my runners up would have been the Revival. But
okay, I can give you the Revival.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
I feel like they didn't do enough this year.
And that's why I thought their run should have been a little bit longer, because now it kind of seems like they've been pushed back. Mm-hmm. So that's why I didn't pick them. Initially, I'm going to pick the heels.
Yeah.
But it's like your guys pushed them back now. I don't like that.
I think there's something with the Revival, though, that in their contracts that they wanted so much time off and they want to do other things. So I think that's why they dropped it. But I don't know what else they're doing right now with the pandemic going on. I think I just don't know what they're doing. But I think that was part of their contracts, is that they get a lot more time off, because that was one of the things they complained about with WWE was they didn't get enough time off. And the same thing everybody complains about is the schedule. So I don't know if that's the reason why, but yeah, man.
Street Profits, Team of the Year.
Private Party, you might as well have said that.
No, not the knockoff Street Profits.
Ryan, how could you say Team Taz like that? But I'll give you that. That's cool. That's cool.
But at the risk of hearing what else you got to say about this year, moving to the best female of the year. Best female of the year. We'll start with you, Raph, since you pretty much shot the bed that last one. I'm going to need you to give me in my opinion, there was only one, but let's see who you got. Best female of the year.
Ding dong. Hello. Bayley is the best of the year. What are you talking about? No choice.
That's it? Just ding dong? We out?
That's it.
That's it.
Bayley held it down for the entire year.
Yeah.
Like she's in. If you think about any feud that is happening for the most part in WWE, Bayley was involved in it. She had a hand in something to do with it. She was on Raw. She was on SmackDown. She went to NXT. She's dominated pay-per-views. She put people over. She's in a feud with Bianca right now that's about to put Bianca over, ultimately.
Hopefully.
So,
I had to say it, hopefully.
It has to be Bayley. I don't see anybody else. Like Charlotte went away for the year. And that's what makes it even more special to me, is that when Bayley came in, Bayley was looked at as the fourth member of the four horsewomen. Like she was the weakest link. I'd argue right now that Bayley is the strongest one. I'd argue that point. Like Becky got pregnant and that you can't do anything with that. That's not her fault. But
a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of.
Let's be responsible, people. Let's be responsible, people. Yeah.
It has to be Bayley though. She's dominated. She dominated the end of last year. She's dominated this year, and she was a part of my favorite feud.
That's fair. Yep. I also got Bayley. I had wrote down who is actually going to be my second pick. But yeah, you're right, because I had to think it over. Like, yeah, Bayley, there's just no denying it. She held it down this year. So I'm going to give a quick shout to who I put down as my number one prior to, and that was Io. I felt like Io picked up right where, unfortunately, they dropped the ball with Charlotte and the NXT Women's Championship, and then Io picked it up. She's ran with it. and she's amazing. All her matches are on point. Everything, she's really embraced this whatever like gothic punk character she's got going on. It just gets me hyped every time she goes to the ring. And she put a trash can over her head at War Games, and that's just good fun. That's just good wrestling, technical wrestling right there for anyone out there, any of you purists out there. So Io is my close second, but I gotta give it to Bayley also.
There's only so many that you can go with this year because I mean a lot of them sucked and a lot of people were out, and it was like a tie between Bayley, Sasha, Asuka, and my favorite. You guys aren't gonna agree with this. Is Britt Baker. That's my girl.
I knew you was gonna say it.
That's my girl. But I'm not gonna put her in this category because like she's been out and she hasn't done enough yet. But watch, she's the future. But yeah, I have to go Asuka on this one, just because I know Bayley's held down. She was on SmackDown, she was on Raw, she did the tag. But when Becky left and they gave the title to Asuka held it down for Raw, man. If it wasn't for her holding that thing down on Raw, I mean, who else do you have on that show that can really be a champion? That's gonna hold it down like she has.
You can see it right now because they don't even have a feud for the championship.
Exactly. She's a tag team champion. I mean, I liked her this whole year except for when she got the tag belts with Charlotte. I thought that was pretty hokey. You know what I'm saying? My best friend, my friends. I'm like, you guys feuded the whole time. I hate when they do that. Like, they just jump down, hugging in the ring.
Big green mist to their face.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. But Asuka held it down. So I'll give Asuka the female of the year with Bayley and Sasha right behind her. Just because like those are the three that's held it down for WWE this whole year. You can't even name another female other than Bianca, but she's on her way up. But for the whole year, those three have held down this company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No questions asked. That's just.
We're gonna quote me. We're gonna quote me right now. This time next year, when we do the show next year, I got Bianca winning this award next year. She's gonna have a great year.
I'm giving it to Britt Baker. She's gonna.
Yeah. I mean, their whole division is built around Britt. She's like they're just waiting to pull the trigger on her. I mean, they're holding her back.
Why
they
not?
Really are.
Why not? Why haven't they yet?
Because they have to build the rest of the people up. If you give it to Britt right now, where do you go from here with the rest of the females? Like their division needs to be built. We all know that it's hurting really bad. So if you give it, it's just like the Bucks. If they're able to get the tag team championships to the Bucks right off the bat, or Kenny off the bat, or Dustin off the bat, then where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying? You have to build the rest of the divisions up before you give the belt to the star. So,
yeah, I get behind that.
Bianca's winning it next year. You guys heard it here first.
No matter what, it's your pick. Man, it don't matter.
Are we down to best male?
Down to best male of the year, and we'll just go ahead. We'll start with JT because he's not gonna like my answer. So,
superstar of the year. Story wise, of course.
I don't like your pick already.
Story wise, it has to be Roman. Story wise, Roman. Wrestling, no. Story wise, Roman. You got to give him that superstar of the year. Wrestling wise, damn, I can't even give it to my boy Kenny because I can't give it to him, not yet. Technical wise, I like watching Orange Cassidy come out and do his thing. I like his push. I like my guy. Yeah, I like him. But you know what? I'm gonna off of what we said earlier with the tag teams. I'm going with Rey Fenix as my superstar of the year, just because I like the man in the ring. He does what he does. You can't touch him when he gets going. That's my superstar of the year.
That's true, man.
And then, man, there's so many. I could have went with MJF. I could have went with Jericho. Because Jericho, I mean, he's been reinvented so many times, and he's holding it down still, too. Oh, man. But no, all right, I'll stick with Rey Fenix. That's my superstar of the year. There you go. Next.
Go ahead and disappoint us, Josh.
You already know, man. I don't care what either one of y'all say. And JT, I'm willing to take that belt off your hands because Jon Moxley had the best year of 2020, in my opinion.
Are you being serious? That was a joke. Is that a joke?
The Mox came in. He came in hot. There you go. Oh God, you got me. That man
Ladies
got
and gentlemen, that's the end. No, no.
me. Y'all are haters. Y'all are really haters. It was a tie between Mox and Powerhouse. No, okay.
Oh my God, I'm walking out.
No, I mean really, who had a better? Bro, come on now.
I didn't know it was gonna lock me out. I just put the phone down. My phone read what you was gonna say, and it helped me out. My phone read my mind.
I didn't even start saying why either. We've been laughing this whole time. He won it. He won the title back in February. I mean, he just lost it to Omega in a great match. I loved it. Obviously, I was cool with Mox holding it for the whole year. I know you guys have a problem with that. Y'all some haters. Y'all some Moxley, Dean Ambrose haters. I think his real name is John Goodman. Y'all just hate the man. I don't know why.
Yo, you know why? You know why?
I know why with you. I don't know why with you.
But I don't like it because he doesn't like him.
That's my brother right there. That's right. That's right.
This year was just the year of Mox, man. I mean, yeah, I could give the shout to Roman, but Roman really ain't pick it up until SummerSlam when he came back.
Right.
He was going through a dog food loser eats dog food match at the beginning of the year. I mean, I'm not saying that his work right now is the best in wrestling. I think so.
Yeah.
But overall, all year he had dog food dumped on him, and Baron Corbin brought out a mascot, and he was in the center of that. Mox, everything about him was real from all his feuds. I didn't think he had a bad feud at all. Yeah, it was the year of Mox. He was PW Insider's number one. He was number one. So he's number one on my list too.
Trash king.
You just made me change my pick. I'll show you if I can pull this up, if it'll show on the screen here.
We know your pick though.
My pick. Can you all see that? Best male at the top.
Yeah, we see.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be your pick.
My best pick, my original pick was Roman Reigns. Of course, he's just blacks and Samoans.
Black and Samoans.
But
that sounds like a cigar company.
I'm changing my pick based off of your criteria with saying the entire year, because I forgot about the dog food stuff, and that has to eliminate that just. We can't exclude that when talking about Roman, and the fact that he was gone for 6 months.
He was gone for
Wait, but was the dog food? Was dog food 2019?
No, that was the beginning.
No, that was
he wasn't here at the beginning of the year. I thought, wasn't he gone?
Before Mania, he was.
Before Mania, he left 2 weeks before Mania, which is why they shotgun Braun into it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I hate to count that against him, but I'm gonna say,
Raph, don't you do it? Don't you better not say it.
What?
Don't you say it, dude. You better not agree with this dude because of his points. Okay, cool.
Oh, come on now.
Cool.
Quick shout to Pat McAfee.
I'm giving the superstar of the year to Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that no! Oh my God,
that's a good one. His phone gonna fall over again.
Two-time champion this year. He's arguably he's improved a lot on the mic.
He is.
Like,
yeah.
He's had some really good matches. This feud with Randy, it borderline went too long, but it was like, okay, they cut it right at the right time.
Right.
The match with AJ, great match. Beat the hell out of Brock, quick. Get Brock out of here, quick. I love that. Like, let's not drag that on. Beat Brock's ass, get him out of here, quick. He did that. Beat Big Show right afterwards. That was pointless. That's a knock on his record. But who's come up more than Drew this year? If Roman had been there most of the year and we could eliminate the dog food stuff, it'd be Roman, because the last quarter of the year, Roman has been way better than anybody in professional wrestling. Anybody. Not
Storyline-wise.
WWE.
Storyline-wise.
He's been better than anybody.
Storyline-wise.
I don't even care to watch anybody else. I watch SmackDown. I don't care what's happening on any other show. I watch SmackDown. But I do like what Drew's done this year, so I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Drew. Had a great year.
Fucking cattles.
One thing I don't like about Drew is that he got a rematch really quickly.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, so we're gonna start this again? Oh my God.
Man. This is where I can't get behind Drew, man. It's nothing against him. But Drew, come on. Come on.
He got that rematch so quick, man.
Oh my God.
Kofi Kingston has still not got a rematch.
This is where anybody that was watching done subbed out. They logged off right here. They're like, yeah, saw it coming. They just bet it at the 20-minute mark and ended up at the 90-minute mark. We gonna talk about it one day.
I'm about to rename this show. I'm renaming this show. Kofi has not got a rematch.
Yeah. Give Kofi a chance. That's what
Give Kofi
a rematch.
Jeez, just even if he loses, just let him get the rematch.
That's what, I'm with Rat. Even if he loses, man, come on, where's my rematch at?
Yeah.
And that's why the Royal Rumble sucked. I heard y'all say earlier that the Royal Rumble was one of y'all favorite pay-per-views or whatever. That's why it sucked, because the interaction between him and Brock was just trash. And that could have led off to something great, but it didn't. So no to Drew, and no to the Royal Rumble, other than Edge returning. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Hell of a show, guys. Glad.
Thanks for the run-in from JT right there at the end. Thought you was gonna make it out, and then bam, steel chair to the back of your head.
Nice way to show up out of the crowd and come walking in.
Yes, the Santino Marella of the show.
This is what we call a run-in.
Awesome shirt you got on there too. I should have worn.
Yeah. Let's give the man his props. You know. Absolutely. If I had a new Harper, I would wear that too. But I'm still crying off of yesterday's tribute, so I don't want
to. I have the Luke shirt coming. It should probably be here like next week. So I went ahead and got. I didn't get the one that they started selling on the AEW shop. I might get that one too, but.
Right.
I did go ahead and get a Luke shirt. I think that AEW one sold out.
Makes sense.
So, but hell of a show, guys. Way to end the year strong. Thanks for riding with us this year. If you're watching, there was a lot of comments over here. Some didn't have much to do with what we were talking about, but there was a lot of comments going on. But that's gonna do it, man. Thumbs up if you like the video. We'll be back next year.
Oh, you do.
We'll holler at y'all in the next one.
All right. Happy New Year's, fellas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.